Hello, welcome to Ethical Hacking and Penetration Testing, brought to you by Eduonix. This is Chapter 2, Video 2, Real-World Information Gathering. So these are the topics we'll be covering. We'll be covering search engines for penetration testers, using WhatWeb, HTTP Recon and SSL scan, IP address geolocation, web app firewall detection, HTTP and DNS load balance detection, DNS enumeration, mail server enumeration, and DNS and whois lookup as well. So search engines for penetration testers is known as Google hacking. Google has a number of advanced search operators you can use to search the web for people, files, vulnerabilities, and pretty much anything else you can think of. You can look for advisories and vulnerabilities, error messages that give away far too much information, files containing confidential information, files containing passwords, usernames, footholds, helping an attacker get into an actual web server. Hidden login portals, sensitive directories, various online devices, and webcam portals as well. So this information is from hackersforcharity.org. If you do a Google search for cached server report 4, this analysis was produced by Calamarus. You'll see quite a lot of information. They're Squid server reports, fairly benign, except when you consider using them for evil purposes. For example, an institution stands up a proxy server for their internal users to get to the outside world. Then the internal users surf all over the hard content, including intranet pages, because as it says here, the admins are stupid. Voila. Intranet links show up on the external web cache. If you configure an external proxy, you have to trust it as an internal host. So if you load up your web browser and your web proxy as their proxy surf, so if you load up your web proxy and surf the internet, you can notice examples in the Google list of those particular reports. If you take a quick look, you can see here we have the kind of reports we're talking about, listing much more information than you possibly want to give away. I'm not going to go into it too much. Feel free to have a look for yourself. It's Google, it's just on the internet now. So next up we have financial spreadsheets. If you search in title index of, you're looking for the index of that particular file structure. Then if you search for finances.xls, anything you want basically .xls, if it's on there you'll find it. So let's have a look, see what we find. Here we have pages in pages, not all of them, but some of them. It finds actual finances.xls in the web search, and you can download them. Index of working credit card finances. Well, that's definitely something you don't want to put online, is it? Okay. So next up, we have passwd file. For those of you that don't know, passwd file is the passwords file for Linux. They can be put online, especially if the entire file system of a server is available online, or even if somebody has put it there as a backup. They do show encrypted passwords, which may look like guessed and then a whole load of gobbledygook after it, but a password cracker can easily get the hashes faster than than anybody else, really. So let's have a look. And also, sorry, the .back is just not so much a standard, but .back is what you name something if you want to back it up in Linux. So has it found anything? Yes, it has. Passwd, password.back. Plenty of information, plenty of search results, all stating the passwd.back file. And next up we have config.php. So this search will bring up config.php files, and if we don't skip all the, if we go and skip all the technical bits, it's a config file that contains username and passwords for SQL databases, including full admin access to the database as well. So the search operator is in title index.of space config.php. Sometimes Google does this just to make sure you're not a robot. And here we go, config.php files as far as the eye can see. Webcams. If you look for inurl/view/index.html, you will see a whole host of people who have not set their webcams up properly. I don't mind taking a look at some of these because I know of them. A lot of them are probably just being configured on purpose, but you get the kind of thing that I'm trying to get across here, is that if it's not protected properly and Google spiders go out and actually index it, then you'll probably find it appearing in a Google search result. Some of them are completely dead, other ones aren't. Okay, FTP. If a config file or the web.config file is viewable externally, then that means that the web server accepts, the FTP server accepts anonymous connections. And believe you me, it's quite scary how many people are running FTP servers at home so they can get to their files when they're out at work or out at their friends' houses, and they don't comment out or they don't turn off the anonymous user. It is quite scary. So let's have a look at that. Here we have a rather comprehensive list of every anonymous FTP server that we can find. Let's have a look at the first one, just to prove it. That's the web.config file, which contains more information you don't want to know. If you take off the web.config, go to the IP address, you then have access. I'm not going to connect to it actually. You have access to that FTP server. Pages and pages. All misconfigured, or intentionally if it's for kind of public access, that kind of thing. Chances are it's probably not, it's just misconfigured. So using WhatWeb, HTTP, Recon and SSL scan. So WhatWeb is a next generation web scanner. WhatWeb recognizes web technology, including content management systems, blogging platforms, static and analytic packages, JavaScript libraries, web servers and embedded devices. It's got over 1,000 plugins, each to recognize something different. It also identifies version numbers, emails, etc., etc. So let's have a look at WhatWeb. Enter a domain to analyze. hackthisite.org, or spelled correctly, hackthisite.org. You can see that it uses an HTTP load balancer. The actual index file is index.php. IP addresses, and a lot more information. I actually thought it would bring back more information than that. So if we try Eduonix.com, a lot more information. Script, JavaScript, the title, IP only, the HTTP service, Cloudflare, Nginx, all good information. So HTTP Recon is a fingerprinting tool. It's to help return highly accurate identification of HTTPD implementations. Very important when it comes down to vulnerability analysis. hackthisite.org again. Thank you, HackThisSite. We appreciate the use. Here we go. Nginx, Microsoft, Apache. It's a 100% match. That definitely uses Nginx 0.61. A load of other information here which you can look through in your own time. A lot of information actually about different versions, different fingerprinting details. Again, the HTTP load balancer. A lot more information than the previous website. SSL Scan. It's a free online service that performs a deep analysis of the configuration of any SSL web server publicly on the internet. Here's HTTPS, google.com. So here we go, here's all of Google's web servers, their grade A, the domain, the test time, and the server themselves as well. So the overall rating is A. Cipher support, key exchange, protocol support, and certificate are all almost 100%. Different kinds of signature algorithms that they use, revocation information, all good. Now, IP address geolocation. I put ish after this because it's not an exact science really. It'll look at local exchanges to you. So say my local exchange is probably about 10 miles away. It would probably give you information on that particular IP address rather than your own personal IP address. So if you have a look at an example, that particular IP address there is in Albalata in Spain. That's generally about as accurate as you can get. The fact that the pin is there probably doesn't actually mean it's there. They've just narrowed it down to the nearest town for you. So this website is infosniper.net. There's many more out there you can try. It's quite easy to fool. You can spoof your IP address, you can use a VPN and it wouldn't pick up on it. The only true holder of this information is the ISP. They know what IP address belongs to which account and where you live.